So, is learning Vim in this age of AI worth it? Um, if you don't know, if you clicked on this video and you don't know what Vim is, it's a text editor. And it's like Word, but not stupid and very cool. Um, Microsoft Word, Google Docs. You can consider those text editors, even though they're sort of it's just like for writing text, okay? But it lets you essentially write text as if you're playing Street Fighter, or solving a puzzle instead of moving your mouse and clicking, like a nerd, frankly. Um, but so sorry, I just ran. And ran is the wrong word. I briskly walked and I'm out of breath because I'm a fucking fatso. So that's why I'm panting. Um, but let's get to the question at hand, because you clicked on this video for information, not to hear about my personal life, right? So the short answer is yes. So if that's all you want, you can go away now because the answer is yes. But there are some caveats, okay? So it is worth it to learn Vim, but um, you know, because I think we're dealing with like a time thing here. Like, how long will it be until AI can just write most code for us, and we aren't dealing with local edits anymore? And I think it'll be a while, like at least 2 years. I think it'll be 2 years before that point. um and some people probably think that's an early prediction. um and it probably depends on the programming language you're using. Like, I haven't used GitHub Copilot, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like autocomplete for your fucking text editor, using AI. And it's just like trained on all the code on GitHub, I think. And so, um, like, you can just like write a comment above a function of what the function should do, and GitHub Copilot will suggest a function that's like, um, does what you described. And so, but even with that, you're still doing tons and tons of edits, other edits that, you think a thought in your brain, like, okay, remove that semicolon. With Vim, literally the fastest way is to go capital A backspace, escape, or $X, like that will until we eliminate the need for all edits like that. It will be worth it to use Vim. And I think it will take 2 years to get to that point, or more or less. I think we're dealing with, for some reason, society is we're a bunch of cucks, basically. Like, we don't believe that things are going to happen for some reason. Like, and it's like crazy how we are literally in the midst of the acceleration of AI. I don't want to sound like a fucking evangelist here, but like, it's one of those things of just like, we're literally seeing it happen live, and you still have to sometimes convince people that AI is going to be this huge thing. And it's like, it's literally already this huge thing, and it's already like double, like the rate of growth is already accelerating, and you can see it accelerating. And I still need to explain to you that it's going to keep accelerating. Like, I don't understand. So, like, I get that humans by default kind of think in this linear fashion, but it's like, I'm 20. What am I, 26? Like, people my age talking, like, having a I'm look, do whatever you want. This isn't financial advice. But 26 and having like a 401k, like a Roth IRA or whatever, dude, we're literally at the point where you can tell an AI to do to write you a full thing of code, and it'll do it. Like, you think 25 years from now you're gonna need $100,000 from a tax free or whatever? That's insane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all the accountant listening to this. That's insane. I'm not insane. You're insane. You know. So, but I gotta bring this back to Vim. Okay, I'm sorry. I got off track there. Um, it's still gonna be like a couple or a few years until we get to the point where I could just speak to my computer like, yeah, actually we need this function, and then it'll rearrange it and know what I mean, and stuff. Like we could like we're already like 80% there. I think now the main thing is like integration. Like it will take a lot of like even if the AI becomes perfect, which it's still not yet. Like the AI is maybe 80% there where um or maybe not even 80%. Maybe, let's say it's 40% there and be generous, right? Like that other 60%, it's going to get there pretty fast. But then we also still have to integrate it, fully into our editors or whatever system we're going to be using, and that's going to take time. So that's going to take and that'll take a while. And 2 years, some people who know Vim might be like, 2 years not enough to learn Vim. And to that I say, you're wrong. You're wrong. No, you can be if you turn your brain on, if you go find the key and stick it in your brain and turn it on and just decide to be alive for once, you can learn Vim and like you can be like already sort of productive in like a day, but give yourself a week, if you have the right like mental habits of like this isn't fast enough, there must be a faster way, I need to look this up, let me look this up. And now with ChatGPT you don't even have to look it up, you can say, hey, is there a faster way to do this in Vim, and maybe it'll tell you. I haven't tried that, but I'm sure it'll be pretty good. Okay, so you can ask ChatGPT now, hey, I keep doing this task that's taking way too long. If you don't have that habit in your mind and you don't see yourself forming that habit, then don't learn Vim. Go do something else. You kind of, if you want to get good at Vim fast, you need to form that habit in your mind. This is taking too long. How do I do it faster? How do every fucking moment? I'm still doing that. I'm still looking back and finding things where I'm like, oh, I've been doing this like for, maybe I do it a few times a week or a few times a month, and I just never made a mapping for it. And then now I get around to doing it. I'm still like discovering things like that where I'm like, oh, this feels way better now, and I should have done this like a year ago, but I was just being lazy, um but then we get to the point where we're asking ourselves, okay, logically it sort of makes sense, but also let's bring this to like a more theoretical discussion of like, we pianists exist, right? And they have work. Maybe being a pianist isn't the most lucrative thing, but if you're a great pianist, you can live off of that. And people are becoming pianists for a reason, right? But piano was solved. Like, we didn't need AI to eradicate the need for pianists. Like, AI was already like, we had speakers and digital audio workstations and synthesizers or and like plugins that could make piano sounds that were like pretty much as good as recorded piano sounds, because those plugins were created by recording piano keys at many different velocities, and then you have access to like the best piano in the world. You have access to on your home MIDI piano. You have access to the best, most like several hundreds of thousands of dollars grand piano you can play at home on your little MIDI thing. And so we don't need piano. But and then also you could get some nerd to go in and compose his little song and plug in all the velocities if he wanted to, and then have a song. You don't need pianists anymore. So then why do people still play piano? It's because playing piano's fun. Because they love piano. They loving piano. That's why they're playing piano, because they loving it. not because they need to, right? And so that's the situation we get ourselves into. But it's interesting because let's say 2 years from now, to write code or whatever, let's say 3 years from now, to write code, all you have to do is say into your computer like, hey, yeah, move that function over there, blah blah blah. Even saying it now feels weird because a lot of Vim is moving around too. What like a lot of the good of parts of Vim is I guess it's moving around with edits, but like just think about it. Moving the screen, like moving the view up and down, browsing, looking at different code, it's gonna take a while to not need to do that. You know what I mean? Um, and Vim is still, I think, the most efficient way to do that. But also keep in mind, VS Code has Vim, NeoVim emulation, and make sure you download the M1 version of VS Code. I didn't, and it took 30 seconds to start up every time. But if you get the M1 version, it takes a second to start up. And the reason I bring that up is because with the NeoVim plugin, with the Intel version of VS Code, it would take like forever to it would take forever to start up, and then like it would go out of sync. Like one time the view, this happened once, but once is enough for me to say fuck this, where the code went out of sync with the actual state of the buffer. And so like the code that I was editing wasn't the code that I saw wasn't actually the code that was, like, if I pressed save, it would save something else to the file. Like the buffer in memory was different than what was being displayed to me. That was unacceptable. But with the M1 version of VS Code, I don't think that'll happen because like it's performant enough that. But anyways, that's also another thing. It's like, is AI going to eliminate the need for operating systems in like 2 years? And the answer is no as well. So it's like, okay, well, I'm still gonna be using Bash. I'm still gonna be popping open terminals. I'm still gonna be SSHing into servers. I'm still gonna be doing all this shit that's worthwhile to know and is the most efficient way to use a computer if you know how to do it well, in my opinion. So, um, it. I think for Vim and Bash and just Unix knowledge and all this stuff to not be useful anymore, we will get to that point without a doubt. We're gonna get to the point where knowing anything is not gonna be really useful anymore because AI is just gonna be better than us. Um, but and some people argue about that, and I don't know why, but fine, go ahead. Um, it We will get to that point, but it will already have to be like very holistic for it to replace all these things. You know what I mean? Like moving the view around, SSHing into the servers, these things I just listed. We Until it can control all of those and understand all of those as we can, like holistically, every single moving part as we do, it will as we sort of do, it will it won't take o- it like won't take over until then. So it needs to be fully integrated, which it's not right now. It looks very powerful, and it is, but it's restricted to that like one-to-one chat interface right now. And until it's fully integrated and capable of having a holistic understanding of what it's integrated with, it will not replace it. So, and that's going to take a while. But then going back to the piano thing, okay? Even let's say we do get to that point. Let's say we look 3 to 5 years from now, boom, it starts taking over. Was that wasted? What is the point anymore of learning anything? Not anymore. Sorry, that was a miss. I misspoke. What is the point of learning anything? Period. And I think the is the point of learning something for the future, or is it for that moment of learning? Like, I guess it just comes down to what is the point of being human? Like what? Because I don't think everybody's had the chance to do this, but I've had the chance to be a real fucking a real fatso. I've had the chance. I've done it. I've done nothing. There have been like months where I woke up every day and all I did was just nothing. Like I just played video games or whatever. Um, like a couple years ago, like just months of nothing. Eating candy all day, eating junk food all day, um, playing video games all day. And that is AI, not AI, whatever. That is not what you want. If you're a billionaire and you think that's what you're gonna do, fucking middle-aged women or whatever, they always have this like fantasy of like sipping margaritas on the beach. You know how fucking boring that would get after 10 seconds? Like I once the margarita's done, you're bored now, you know? And you're not surfing, you're just on the beach. So what? You're falling asleep? That's falling asleep. You know what I mean? Like you're going to fall asleep for the rest of your life? No, you're not. Like you have to have something. And so what is the point of having something? The point of having something is to have is to be integrated, because as humans, we need to be integrated with something or else we'll lose our fucking minds. Okay? So and the best way to do that also is to have responsibilities. So you have a family, you have a job, you learn things, all these things, they make you feel meaningful. Whether AI comes or not, we still need things to capture our interest, because if nothing is capturing your interest, trust me, you will get sick of being alive. And so that's why a lot of people game. I don't think that people understand this. Is like people who don't have that much going on, or people even who do have stuff going on too. Like gaming is a very nice thing, even though it can make you very angry. It's because it's like it is something to do, and it's very consistently engaging, and it's very easy to engage with. Like these people, these scientists who say that, oh, gamers' brains are just like brains on heroin. It's like, okay, what is the point of that? Like that just is totally irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, sure, my brain when I was 12 years old, addicted to solving Rubik's Cubes, was also the same as the guy who's on heroin. Like, and the same as me when I was playing video games. Like, people just say shit, you know? And it pisses me off. It's pissing me off. But anyways, back to the original point, which was we need purpose. But is that purpose for now or is it for later? I think it's for now. I think that learning has a positive effect on your brain. Just the fact of learning. So like even if you were meant to memorize a bunch of words or a bunch of sequences, even if you like every day you just memorized like shit, piss, fuck, shit, like just the ordering of random cuss words or something, even if you did that, I think that would have a positive effect on your mind, just because it is the fact of the activity of your mind, of it being actively doing something. And so, let's say you stop using Vim 3-4 years from now, when AI is fully integrated with our operating systems, then will that time have gone to waste? No, it had a beautiful effect on your mind. I don't speak Chinese right now at all. Maybe I'll never speak Chinese ever again. But I learned Chinese, and like those weeks of major activity in my mind probably had a very good effect on it, and it also changes your habits in the future of of learning things in the future. It makes it easier to learn things in the future, and it makes it and your mindset shifts too. So when you're learning Vim, your mindset is shifting from I'm just a dumbass to this is taking too long, and there is a faster way. I know there's a faster way to do it. And the more you do that, the more you realize there are solutions to everything, and they're just there, and I just have to find them. And it will surprise you time and time again how there's some solution to something sitting around that you to a problem you didn't even realize you had, and it'll just blow your mind. You could say that that's what AI is. I don't know, but and that, like, it just changes. Like, when you get good at stuff with an open mind, you just start to um, kind of open up and really notice that anything is possible, and I think that's important. And it's fun. That's the main thing, is Vim is fun. So have your fun for the next 3 years. Have your fun. Jump around the terminal. Like, sure, AI is already better than us at StarCraft, at Street Fighter. You still want to play Street Fighter sometimes. Maybe you don't play video games, do something else. Fishing. You could probably, I don't know, you like fishing? I could probably code an AI that would be better at fishing's pretty with a robot. I don't know. But anyways, that's my opinion. I think that's all I have to say. Leave your opinion in the comments. If you watched for this long, that's pretty crazy. 21 minutes and 29 seconds. I'm very flattered if you did that. Thank you. Have a great day.